Hi, welcome to the breadboard. Today we have a tablet to look at. This is the Vankyo MatrixPad S10. It was sent to me directly from Vankyo to have a look at and play with. They asked me if I'd be interested, and I was looking at some possibilities for home automation where I could put a screen up that would be easy to maintain, could be wandered around the house with. You could mount it on a wall bracket perhaps that would run for quite a while just using web browsing and things like that, and this seems to be just the ticket. It also is a full-blown Android 9 Google approved device with a 10.1-inch screen. So anyway, they sent me this to review and have a look at, so this is it in the box. Let's not waste any time and dive right into it and see what we've got. So first off, let's dive into the box, or at least look at the back of it for a second. So what it's telling us on the outside of the box is 10.1-inch IPS screen technology, front and rear cameras, quad-core CPU, CMS certified Android, GMS, that's Google certified Android OS, and a solid eMMC ROM. No specific specifications, more generalizations. And I think because this is a $99 tablet, it's not going to be the high-end specifications that you would expect with an iPad or a Google Pixel or something like that. So anyway, as we go in, we'll have a deeper look and see. But I still have no qualms that it's probably going to be more than adequate for what I want to be able to do with it. Time will tell. Okay, let's get in here. As you can see, I haven't even opened this yet. Box is very reminiscent of, I was about to say the strength of Apple, but I just tore the corner. Looks very well packed anyway. Happy you selected Vankyo, tell friends and family, etc, etc. A whole bunch of support links. There's the tablet, wrapped up nicely. It's quite light, which is nice. You don't want a heavy tablet. See what else is in the box for the moment. A little card telling us, I guess it's a very quick start guide, how to plug in the power, how to turn it on and off, how to unlock, where all the devices are. We'll be doing that ourselves anyway in a moment. We have a user guide. Initially it seems quite substantial, but it's probably in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different languages, so it's thick. But I think if we go find the end of the English, there. So really that's the manual for me, that bit there. But then again, it's a standard tablet, so how much do you really need? FCC and CE approved. Let's have a look and see what this quickly says. USB-C port, from what I understand, it's a USB-C port for charging, etc, etc, but it's actually only runs to the USB 2 standards. But that's, again, for a tablet, of this nature, it's more than enough. It's got a memory card slot. You can put up to 128K micro SD card in there. It's got volume up and down, power on and off, a reset, microphone, front-facing camera, rear-facing camera, dual speakers, and a headphone jack. It's running an absolute standard Android with Android add-ons, so I don't anticipate seeing any special apps in there, but we'll find out when we go in. There may be something special for it. We'll download an app for hardware info to find out what we've already got going on in here. It's not telling me whether it's got Wi-Fi 2.4 and 5 gig. It just says Wi-Fi. It's got airplane mode, battery, 6,000 milliampere hour battery, which is pretty good. Claims to be able to run up to about 8 hours depending on what you're doing with it. Pretty much standard sets of features for a typical Android device, whether it be a phone or a tablet. Got Bluetooth built in. Just trying to see if it gives away anything else that might be in here. Oh, here we go. Here's some specifications. Size 10.1 inch, chipset SC7731E. The CPU is a Mali T820. Display resolution is 800 by 1280. So really you're going to be able to watch 720p movies and things at normal resolution. Anything else will be scaled. Front-facing camera for Skyping and stuff like that, Zoom, conference calls, is 2 megapixel. Rear camera is 8 megapixel, which is about 4K, I think. Battery 6000, Android 9 Pie. Doesn't say anything about the Wi-Fi, just says Wi-Fi. CPU is an ARM Cortex A7 at 1.3 gigahertz, 2 gig of RAM, 32 gig of storage, 802.11bgn and Bluetooth 4.2, 5 volt 2 amp power supply, multi-touch screen, which is nice, and it's got USB 2 port, USB-C brackets 2.0 port, and a memory card slot. There is no SIM card for mobile network access or anything like that built into this. All right, we've got what feels like a nice solid USB cable, standard USB-A, Type A to USB-C, and we have a rather tiny power adapter. So we have a USB Type A to USB-C power cable, USB cable. Seems to be well built. I have a 5 volt, it says 2 amps. What does it say on the side of this? Yep, 5 volt 2 amp. So 10 watt charger. And I think that's pretty much everything that's in here. Yep, that's everything. So let's get rid of the box out the way, and we'll have a look at the tablet. I don't know what state the charge of the tablet is going to be initially. So here we go. So we've got the, let's try zooming a little bit, 1 second. We've got one speaker here, one speaker on the bottom edge over here. We've got front-facing camera almost in the center. Rear-facing camera definitely in the center. SD card slot on the top, USB-C on the top, or top or the side. Volume control, power button, that's probably a reset hole in there. And, headphone jack down the corner here. So that's everything on the outside, plus the classic screen protector. Peel that off. So obviously a very reflective screen, as you can see here. I'll have to tip it up a little bit. Let's go back to a wider view. So never had this on yet, so let's power it up. See if I can prop that up on something. 1 second. Okay, that's it propped up. Okay. Branded Vankyo for a better life, powered by Android, and it's gone back off again. It's not saying anything about, oh, there we go. So it's already at 92% state, which is nice. So let's turn this thing on. Here we go. So let's see, it's the first time powering it up. Let's quickly run through the options. So I'm in Canada, so that's probably going to be interesting picking. Yeah, it's just language, so English United States will be fine. Connect to Wi-Fi. Connect to my local Wi-Fi here. Let's just put this in. Sorry, not going to do it on screen. Alright, connected to Wi-Fi. Is it going to automatically continue? Checking for updates right off the bat. Okay, now that it's connected to Wi-Fi. I'll speed this up in post-processing, just so you don't have to wait, as long as I'm having to wait. So while we're looking at it, while we're waiting, some of the things I notice is it does not have a metal case. It has a plastic one, but it seems pretty, well, a little bit flexible, but it's a nice feel, and it's got a like a matte finish on the back here, like a rubbery matte finish. I think the camera sticks proud slightly if you're laying it on the ground. Let me just see. Is it going to be sitting on the camera? Yes, it is. That's probably just giving it a little bit of a tip up, but that does mean that you have to be careful about scratching it up, I guess. So let that continue checking for updates. I'll come back to you once it's done that. All right, guess it's done. It's asking if it can copy apps and things like that. So let's see what that says. Next. You know what, we'll just skip that. I don't want to bring my personal stuff into here just yet, considering what I want to use this for at the end of the day. So we will load a few apps to try them out, of course. Okay, let's agree to the terms, otherwise we won't get anywhere. This is not about what you can do with Google services, so I'm not going to do backing up to the Google Drive. So we'll turn a few things off. And we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4 for a screen lock. I know, not very strong, but actually we're just going to skip it for now. Skip anyway. Make life easy for testing. Subscribe updates from the assistant. Nope. Enough of that. Yeah, we'll do that. Theoretically, so I can talk to it. Yes, it can. Okay, so what do we get to start with? We've got Google Mail, Chrome, Settings, YouTube, probably, Camera, go back, Google, so we've got Movies, Photos, YouTube, Google Drive, YouTube Music, Maps. It's got a GPS in this apparently, so can't try it down here in my basement. And Google, and of course Gmail. So that's that. Let's go into here. Let's look at about the tablet. Let's see what it says. Vankyo S10 model. Vankyo S10, 2 gigs of RAM, Android 9, IP address that it's picked up, Wi-Fi MAC address, Bluetooth address unavailable because I haven't connected to anything, and certification logos. I guess they're making a point of that. So FCC, CE in Canada, USA, and CE in Europe. And Japan. Nice. Okay. Anything else on the Android? Android security patch level, November the 5th, 2019. See what the App Store has to say for me. Or the Play Store, should I say. So let's look for hardware info. A little bit slow to respond. Find something that's going to tell us what's built into here. Device info. Droidware info 4.5. Well, we'll just go with the first one on the list. Let's load in. Oh, interesting. Microsoft Edge for Android. Might as well give that a shot. Zoom. My wife might want to try that out. So let's get that going. Yeah, there's a few things installing right now, isn't there? Let's try Messenger. Yep, Facebook Messenger. Now what I do want also is HomeAssistant, which is HomeAssistant. And we'll install that. Now let's wait for these things to get installed, shall we? Let's move that to the primary screen, because there's loads of room. Okay, while we're waiting, let's bring up device info and see what it says. Responsiveness is not actually that bad at all. I mean, it is a quad-core processor, 1.3 gig, so it's comparable with a lot of desktop PCs of a little while back. So, what is this finding out? 1.3 gigahertz processors, 40% of the RAM is currently being used. Pi is the version of Android we're running. Sensors, it's got an accelerometer. It's supposed to have a GPS as well. Location services. Oh yeah, it's got GPS. We'll grant permission to grab satellites if it can. I doubt it's finding any satellites down here. I'd have to try this elsewhere. So, device. Vankyo board. Quite a bit of information here. I'm just trying to. Wi-Fi Mac. Some things here are more to do with SIMs. Of course, we don't have a SIM or a mobile access to anything. Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz not supported, that's confirmed that. Link speed is 65 megabits per second, that's not too bad. We'll do a little speed check with it. Storage we've looked at already. Battery 6,000 milliampere hour, good health, 90%, discharging. It's discharging. I've got a charger plugged in, it shouldn't be discharging. Technology lithium ion, temperature 20 degrees C. Voltage 3.833 millivolts. Display 800 by 1280, 10.05 inches, 60 FPS. Display DPI, 180 DPI. Camera, okay. So it's actually a 1.9 megapixel front camera. So 1600 by 1200. That's more than enough for FaceTiming and stuff like that. 8 megapixel back camera at 3264 by 2448. Sensors we already looked at. Accelerometer, apps. Busy adding up now. Tests. No vibration I can feel. So nope. Loudspeaker. Yep. So that's good. That's everything there, I think. Go back to the beginning. I think for a $99 tablet, it seems to have everything we need. Now let's see if my apps have loaded up. Actually, let's just close that down. Close that down. Home Assistant should be loaded, so we'll open that up. We'll connect to that one. Username. All right, so we're into Home Assistant. Let Home Assistant detect this device's location. Let it run in the background. Don't need to import anything. I don't have any geofences. And finish. So this is I haven't created very many pages yet in Home Assistant, but that's brought it up quite nicely. It looks like it's quite responsive. Let's just go to some of the pages I have created. So this is my lab, office. Turn the office light on and off there. I don't have the lab in here right now. You can see I've got status of my printer and TV room. Dim is unavailable at the moment. It's turned off. I've got a sensor in there. This is a sewing room. It's my wife's sewing room. So these are the different lights in the sewing room. My office. Oh, we've got the kitchen. We've got a dimmer. And I don't have the environment. I'm making an environment sensor for there. Notifications, logon attempt failed. Yeah, it's because I did that myself. So, Home Assistant is working quite well. I need to get some templates and things like that done for this. So, okay, that's that app. Let's just get that out of here for the moment. It says Microsoft Edge. There we go. Yeah, we'll not do that at the moment. Skip, do anonymous. Not now. Not now. New. So where are we going to go? Netflix? No. YouTube? Of course. No. Let's go to my own website. .ca. The colors are a little different. Well, no, they're not. Looks alright. My website, that seems to be browsing quite nicely. I play a video directly. Hi, welcome back to the breadboard. In this episode, we're going to look at the 11 Mars Pro resin. So the left button is for up on the volume, and the right button is for down. Seems to be doing quite nicely. But that seems to be working just nice, playing YouTube videos. Doesn't seem to be any stutter. Let's go straight to the YouTube app instead. How do I exit? There we go. All right. That seems to work okay there. Let's go to my channel. Therefore, we avoid any copyright doohickeys. Hi, welcome back to the breadboard. In this episode, we're going to look at Pro Resin. Those are stats for nerds. So let's get to. So it's automatically playing in 720p, which, as I said, it's only an 800 by 1280 resolution, I think it was. So that's not surprised. You can probably change that. Nope, that's the maximum you can select, because that's what the resolution supports. Seems to be working okay. Yeah. All right, so let's just stop this. And so what else do we have? Let's move these to the, see what it takes to move these. Nice and simple. So, camera. Let's have a quick look at the camera. See how quickly the screen gets dirty. Allow camera to access, yes. Remember photo locations, yep. There we go. Now I'm just free holding this. It's rocking a little bit, but it seems to be doing quite well. Seems to be putting some lines up to indicate that it could do rotation if you had the right app on the screen. It's certainly doing pinch and pull, which is nice. Let's flip to the front camera. There we go. And that's me without all the fancy stuff. Yes, I've got a little watermark on the ceiling. Just holding the tablet as still as I can to see how well it focuses, and it doesn't seem to be doing too bad at all. The color, the green, looks a little dull on the screen here than what it does in real life. I know you can't see that very well. I'm just looking at it now. As you can see what's above the lights there. If I turn those lights off a moment, might let you see better. There we go. So get myself up here so you can see. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not the high resolution, but then again, as I said, for chat and things like that, it's probably more than adequate. That's working well enough. So, all right. That is the Vankyo S10 tablet. I will run some playing some movies or something with it. I'll charge it fully up and see how long the battery runs playing movies, and I'll add that to the description of the video and everything. But that's pretty much everything about this. I think that short of trying out all the little features, but I mean, you know, that's the same as most other devices. For $100, I think if you need a little 10.1 inch screen tablet that's going to be used for traveling, watching a few movies, because you can plug an SD card into here, a micro SD card, 128 gigs, so that'll give you a lot of movies and things. Seems to run quite happily with some of the current apps that I like to run. Anyway, I'm not a game player, so I wouldn't normally be having games on something like this. The screen looks nice and clear. Text is quite readable. I should probably try and put something on here that would let me see text better. So let's just try that. One sec, I'll be right back. That was our initial review of the tablet. Once I have some other systems set up, like my HomeAssistant, to use or better utilize a tablet like this, I will add some addendums to the video. So what do I think of the tablet? It seems to be quite good. As I said, this is just the initial review. I've only just had it out the box, so longer term wise, I'm not sure how resilient it's going to be. But we will give it a go over the next few weeks and things, and I'll let you know if there's anything untoward happening. As I said, for $99, it's a pretty good tablet for that price, and we'll see how well it works in our household, watching movies and controlling the home automation. In the meantime, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.